Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. It looks like our dear beloved sister, Miss Melyssa Ford, aka Canadian Bacon, aka M Ford, has pretty much disconnected herself from the Joe Budden podcast. When you look at her latest post here, it has some type of looks like a promotion for culture.com or something like that, where she's going to be in New York for an event this weekend. And she has here on the wherever she sent them, Alyssa Ford, host of the Hot and Bothered podcast. So it appears that her day job with the JBP is actually over. She's been going now for maybe about 5 or 6 weeks officially, and she's even updated her bio where she doesn't even show that she's a co-host of the Joe Button podcast anymore. So it looks like that something that happened earlier this year when she posted the Drake line "Give Me a Hug" into her bio. She posted the song, and she actually posted a video, I believe, on Twitter where she was, basically celebrating her being mentioned in a so-called positive light from the Drake song, even though it was dissing her employer, Joe Button. And she literally blew it off. It actually created a shitstorm in the JBTV community at the time because people were like, "That's kind of disloyal. That you would embrace a song that's basically dissing your employer who's paying you." And she kind of like just totally disregarded it because she was getting bigged up, and she literally referenced the reason why she did it is because she got dissed in the song that was 20 years old, which was The Game. Well, she felt like she was dissed when they said, Melyssa Ford drives a Honda Accord. And so she made it seem like because of that has stained her career for 20 years, now she's celebrating this song, even though it's at the expense of one of her friends that's actually employing her. And a lot of people got upset with that. Also, she's for some reason she takes a lot of mental health days on the pod throughout the years. She's been there for 2.5 years. Well, she was there for like 2.5 years, and she takes a lot of mental health days, so called, and she's checks out on the pod. And if she's not checking out on the pod, not engaging, she's getting attitudes and totally turning conversations left and everything. So it's kind of the writing was on the wall for a long time if you really would paid attention. And to be honest with you, it seems like the people who pay attention to the pod on the regular, whether they're Patreon or you're an avid listener on any of the platforms, the community seems, as far as the vocal community, seems to be split on their like or dislike of her not being on the pod anymore. This is more than just some type of suspension at this point. It's been over a month. Nobody gets suspended for a month typically and still comes back or needed a mental health break or a break or a vacation. Nobody does it that long. She's pretty much she's gone. Now, a lot of people like her. To my opinion and everything, I think a lot of people dig her because of how she looks. She has a great body. She still looks pretty good, even though she's getting older. She's still sexy in the in her vixen, persona, so to speak. But when it comes to podcasting on a broadcast, specifically the JBP, where things can kind of go left here and there, there's a lot of jokes flying, a lot of real talk in some instances. For that type of audience, they don't really want to hear the type of way she delivers on the pod. She's not. She just. She's been over 2 years now. I remember when Joe and Flip were kind of clashing the first year a lot, and he even spoke about on Patreon how it takes 2 years to kind of get a cohesive measure of how the cast is going to be when it comes to how they're going to work with each other. And the 2 years has been up now. It's been a full 2 years, basically, and she really hasn't delivered on the part the way that I'm pretty sure he expected, especially how it was when she first was on that old Parks couch. And ever since then, she's just been like a shell of herself. And maybe that was just her character at the time. But some people are glad that this is over. Some people are going to really miss her. But I feel like Melissa Ford time is up, and it is what it is when it comes to that. I mean, because a lot of the times, you had situations where Melissa was the subject of ridicule on the show. A lot of people get upset with that when you read the comments, but if you actually pay attention, the reason why she's a subject of ridicule all the time is because she doesn't have enough strong of a personality to have a real impact and an input on the show. I mean, it's like she has a weak personality when it comes to those people up there on that set, and the only thing you can really do is make a joke about her because she doesn't bring enough to the table. So that's kind of what you get. Either you contribute to the show or you become the subject of the show, and that was the annoying part about her stay there. I mean, it even got to the point. Anytime Melissa would bring one of her friends to the pod, her friends who didn't even have pod experience were outshining her on her own show. That's the crazy part about it. Like S is beautiful, and beyond her beauty, she had personality and she was willing to engage, which is what was missing from Melissa Ford, or without getting too emotional about it. So you have to kind of take that too. But at the end of the day, the experiment um, didn't really work out. But with the former video vixen and sex symbol Melissa Ford, she had a run. Joe gave her countless and countless of times to try to get her act together on the show. There's even rumors about her having extracurricular activity with some of the cast members that he didn't like, apparently, also. But hey, it comes with it. But now the pod got Don't Call Me White Girl Mona on the show. When she came on the show a few months ago, she made a huge splash and the audience loved her. And I've seen her in the past couple of episodes. This will be her third one. And man, she is perfect for this cast. It's just you have no choice but to compare it. But she blows everybody out the water when it comes to being a co-host on the show. To me personally, but salute to you, Mel. You had a run on the show. At least you looked good on the pod. You didn't say much that was impactful, except for you were shitting on black men. But other than that, I hope you do well in all your other endeavors. Salute.